5 goals, and if you could talk a little bit on your point of view from Milan's performance tonight.
Yeah, I think the guys came with a fantastic mentality after the break to refocus quickly, to attack the streak that we had started and do it on the road against a top team. Milan stepped up massively from the start, and this was the challenge that he had, and he was big time tonight. Just pressing, making runs in behind, obviously scoring the goals. And then, of course, we're super happy right now, but we're also a bit gutted because Alejandro comes out injured, and obviously we'll have to see how he's doing, but it's you never like to see a guy come out injured. But at the end of the day, the guys can be really proud about what they did today.
We'll go to questions from SanDiego.Futbol. Go ahead. SanDiego.Futbol, go ahead.
Hey, Mikey Alejandro with SanDiego.Futbol. Speaking of Alvarado, right after that second goal, you talked to the referees about him being down and the ref maybe not stopping the match. What was the response from the referees after that?
Start first and foremost with just appreciating that these guys are people just like us, and they're trying their best. So it's I was just wondering why on Vite they stopped the play when Vite went down and cut the play, but when Alejandro went down, they didn't, and they let us play with 10 guys, and they should have, I think. Just from a consistency standpoint for a team, it's always important to kind of feel like everything is the same. But again, I reiterate, I think the referees did a good job overall tonight, and they're human beings. They're trying their best as well, so I can appreciate that as well.
And we're way past the half point of the season now. If someone would have told you by now your team is going to be first place in the West, fighting for a spot for the Supporter Shield, fighting for a chance to win the championship and the MLS Cup, what would you say to them back then?
Back then, I would have said the only thing that I'm worried about is the next training session and the next game. And I never had a crystal ball my whole life, and I'm not going to start now. So we're going to take it one day at a time, as always, and it's about stacking performances on top of performances, home and away, training with the right mentality, and then making sure that we have a big squad so everybody's ready to go.
Thank you, Mikey.
No problem. Thank you.
Mikey, just shifting focus, going into Dallas. How important is getting this win on the road, and based on tonight's performance, what can you expect from the group of guys on the second consecutive road match?
Yeah, it's massively important because we challenged the guys again to refocus after a short break where we didn't train for a week. We said the teams that are going to be able to refocus the quickest are going to have an advantage in these first 2 games. I think the boys did a great job. We talked about starting the second half strong, and that starts with a mentality from minute 1 to the last minute. And then I think what this does is it helps build a little bit of momentum and further belief that we have a team that can step up to a multitude of challenges. We're quite resilient, and we're really, really united. And I think the only thing I know is that these guys are going to focus on recovery. They're going to focus on getting their minds refocused for another match on Saturday, and that we're going to come with a real relentless performance that makes the fans proud.
And just to wrap up, just go back a little bit. With Hunter's performance tonight, contributing 3 assists, that's 12 on the season. You just talk about his work rate and his ability to find the guys at all moments.
Yeah, he's a special player. He's always finding the right spaces. He's a giver. So even when he might have a shot, he's always willing to make the extra pass to upgrade the chance. And he's an example of who we are as a team, because he runs and he gives and he gives and he gives, and then he's got tremendous talent and tremendous quality.
Thank you very much, Mikey.
If you don't mind, I'll say again, same as last week, I noticed Frontera out there today. It was awesome. Those guys, the fans traveling, it's not an easy trip coming out to Vancouver. You guys give us life, you give us energy. Please keep it up. Let's keep growing together. We're all in this together. And buenas y hermanos. Appreciate y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by Milan Iloski. Milan, if you could just get your thoughts on tonight's match, coming up with a win on the road, and then also, with you scoring a hat trick and then the fourth called the Hall. How do you feel on the group's performance, and then on a personal level, how do you feel tonight?
Yeah, it's a huge win for the team. Coming on the road against the first place team, it was a huge game, and we wanted to win. We wanted to get ourselves in that first place spot. So for the team, it's a massive win, and we're very proud of that. And the adversity and everything this group's gone through, and then to be able to come on the road like this and battle from for each minute and ultimately get the win it's so important for the group. And we can't wait to go into Dallas now. And of course, for me, it's a big moment in my career, and I'll never stop pushing. And now I'm looking forward to Dallas, and going to continue to chase goals and chase results and help this team any way I can.
We'll go to Alejandro from SanDiego.Futbol.
Hi, Milan. Amazing performance. It's your first hat trick since May of 2022 against Tulsa. So what does it mean to just come in and score 4 goals in your MLS debut?
Yeah, it's of course a great feeling. I hold myself to a very high standard. I've always said this, and it's something that I expect of myself, and I have no problem saying that. I think I play with great players. I play with someone like Anas, who it's for me a dream to play with someone like this and to be able to move off of someone like that, and guys like Oni and Yepe, and this whole team, the way we play, it makes it a dream for a striker like me. So yeah, of course it's a great performance for me, but it's ultimately my teammates that I have to give a lot of credit to, and the help they do, they give me on the pitch, so I can't thank them enough.
And, in this momentum, you're 9 in the season now, you get your first start. What's next for you? What is the goal? I mean, the World Cup is just around the corner. Is your hope to get a call up to the national team as well?
Of course, it's always in your head for a player. The World Cup is coming soon, and I would love to represent my country. I love America, and it's something that I've always dreamt of doing. I've always watched games, and it's always been a huge dream of mine. It's something always in the back of my head. So, but for now, it's on to Dallas and keeping my focus very short term and trying to do the best for the team and get us a win in Dallas.
And tell us a little bit about your relationship now with Anders Dreyer, right? He gave you 3 assists tonight. What can you tell us about his performance as well that reflected very well in your performance too?
Yeah, I mean, he's a top player. Like, you can just see the quality he has, and for me, it's not only the quality he has, but how unselfish he is, and the way he interacts with me, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch, and we have a great relationship all around. So, I think you can see it on the pitch. He's a dream for someone like me to play with, and someone I'm very grateful to have in the team with me.
Thank you, Milan. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Ivan, go ahead.
Milan, tonight, which of the goals was your favorite, and which one was the toughest to score, and why?
I think my favorite and probably the toughest is the header. I'm not known for scoring goals with my head, I'd say. So it's a little funny to score 2 in a row now, but yeah, it's a great header and a great ball by Anas, and I felt like it was good striker play, and I feel like if I could score goals like that and add that to my arsenal, then it'll only help me as a striker to be even more dangerous. And I'm always trying to improve and always trying to get better in different ways. So just a couple weeks ago, me and Marcus were working on headers, and now I've scored 2 weeks in a row. So once again, going back to my teammates, helping me on the training pitch, helping me in the match to set me up for chances. So I would go with that one.
And what has changed since playing in Orange County and going to play in the Mark? Coming to San Diego, what's changed in your game, you as a person, in just in that amount of time?
Yeah, I mean, a ton. I love this process. I love this game. I'm so in love and so so eager to learn and get better every day. And I think that's something that you should have in any line of work or any part of your life. And just because I scored goals tonight, I want to go back and watch and see what I could do better, and see the chances I missed. So I think having an open mind, and it's not always easy. I went to Denmark and didn't play for 4 or 5 months, so I was in the gym every day and pushing off the pitch to try and develop more and more. So I owe a lot of credit to the people at Northland for helping me off the pitch, always doing finishing, always trying to stay as sharp as I can, and improve during periods where maybe it's not so easy in your mind or in your head. So I'm so infatuated with this game, and I can't wait to continue to improve and continue to push on and keep fighting through different barriers, because for me that's ultimately what I want to do in my career, is keep pushing on through as many things as I can.
Milan,
Thank you.
to end the night for you, can you just talk about a little bit of having a group of supporters make the trip down to Vancouver? You can hear them outnumbered, but you can still hear them in the stands. And then also just want to ask you, you had your hometown watching. What does it feel like for you, knowing that you have all this support back home, and what does it mean for you?
Yeah, I'm so humbled by it. I think I don't deserve it, honestly, and the support since I got here, before the goals, before anything, it's truly so humbling for me, and I can't believe the supporters are constantly traveling, using their own money to come here and watch the matches, and they're chanting not just tonight but in other matches, and we're so grateful to them as a team. And then yeah, of course, like my family going back home to this thing, it makes me it gets me emotional, because I love my city, and I love my family very much, and it brings me a lot of pride to make them proud.